Greetings, everyone! Oh dear. Seems I left something on. Oops. What is this?
Never mind. Hello, everyone! Welcome to stream. Sorry about that. I must have been experimenting with voice mod for a different purpose. Mysterious purpose, which you'll probably won't find out. In any case, why don't we get this up and running, shall we? Docs? Browser docs. Hopefully that works. No AI usage, no chapters, no places, automatic concepts. Why do they move this every time? Category is gaming. Game title. Empire. Waterworks. There we go. Save. Alright, that's a YouTube set. Now let's share it around and get to it. Oh. All right. Whoop. Oh. Properties. Time to go check out the new additions to Empire Waterworks this week. I do not remember what situation I was in. Damper control? Oh, right! Control the amount of air going to the thing. I'll have to clean my poor boiler. Oh, just swapped out the texture. Interesting. For the coal in the furnace. Oops. Oh, that's not spooky at all. Just random roots coming in. Yes. It's off. Ugh. Hello. Mr. Pump House. Huzzah! Oh dear, it seems that everything is still bored. Maybe? Maybe. Hello? Monsieur Chat? Hello, Panda! Monsieur Avatar. There we go. Game looks better than before? I mean, it hasn't changed visually as far as I can tell. Probably you're thinking about, this. What do you mean it looks better? I don't think they changed it visually. Cooking chicken while listening to Bella Ciao. Fair enough. It's probably because I turned off the lights, so it's more broody and what have you. It's like. You on, fella cow? yours. Thank you, Lemony Chaos. That is so that you guys can communicate across platforms. You should be able to talk to Twitch, and Twitch should be able to talk to you. So it's a little bit odd at the moment. Don't worry, Lemony. It's the same phenomenon where Batman went from having 3 colors, blue, gray, and yellow, being black. And that's it. Okay, so that's probably because of there's not. Okay. I'm going to do that in the game because right now my OBS is geared towards the GTA 5 RP stuff. That did not help. Oh, because I need to. That's slightly better. Still really loud. Maybe too soft now. Alright, now the game should be about the same volume as the music. How's that? Going to be a constant dance, sadly. Phew! How are you guys doing today, Lemony Chaos and Panda from the 90s? I know Panda's cooking right now. Things have been better. But it isn't as bad as it could be, all things considered. I see. Why did I stoke this fire? Because I am the idiot, I guess. Alright, I guess we're waiting until morning, which means we have some stuff to do. Perhaps working on a nuclear plane, like I promised. Hello. Hello, Dio. Whoa, nuclear plane. I know, right? I wish there was a way to snuff the fire. There's a rocket launching today! Huzzah! For the future of mankind. And not just the corpos. Hopefully. SpaceX Falcon 9. Good grief. Alright, while we wait for the thing to go, why don't we... Uh-oh. Oh, I think I can actually start the fire out. Well, that's useful. Alright. Let's see what progress we are making on the nuclear plane. Right, last time we were working on Nuke 4. The monstrosity of a train. Days on the ISS is equivalent to 90 minutes, right? Weird. Multitasking? Yeah, I'm essentially letting Empire Waterworks run in the background so that I don't skip 12 hours, which would actually be rather bad. Oh dear. Does not undo. Does not undo. This thing is huge. Wait, does the game pause on alt tabbing? Hope not. Hang on. It does not. Okay. Well, maybe. Hang on. Certainly stutters a bit. Feel like that clock is, but we're at half 23. Get to it. What was I going to do? Something I was going to do. How it looks when I'm playing Industrialist? What is Industrial? Why doesn't it feel right? My phone. Phone? Where phone? Here, phony. Okay. I guess time is passing. Just very, very slowly. right. What was the length of this? I don't recall. What? 0.2. This is 8, right? Four. Whoops. And this one. What creature are you calling? What? $14.25 plus 14.25. Okay. That is 60.75. Oh dear. Kind of giving me an idea of a game that has two windows that you can coordinate at the same time, but one occurs at a really slow speed and the other occurs at a normal speed. Interesting. Never thought of that. I sent the creature chat like 15 minutes ago. Oh, I just don't remember what we were talking about. What were we talking about? Alright, so current wingspan is... Oh, right. I was looking for my phone. $121.5. Alright, so if that is the... The internet just seems to be fricked right now because I'm just trying to find... Webpage not available. Webpage not available. Everything is fucked. Everything is fucked. What the fuck? Phone? You guys are still here, right? IS the internet connect. Alright guys, out there, I need the... Actually, no, that's right. I actually wrote them down because I'm not stupid. Alright. It's somewhere in here. Huh. It says here the wingspan is 164 meters. What is it that we had? 121. We are short by quite a few meters. Okay. I think I need about 40 meters. Already hitting the limits of my build area. Is there a reason I have to have these spacers? I don't think there is. Wait, no, there is. Only it was so simple. Am I the only one that feels like the moon landing return would be better than the Mars landing? I mean, probably. The Mars landing is way more involved. There's way more moving parts that need to be adjusted. The moon landing, well, that's going to basically be our gateway to the stars. Essentially.
Remember all the monster stories you used to hear in bed. Out there, there are billions of them waiting to be fed. They're marching, always hungry, never out of breath.
I cannot hear you over this music. Well, that's weird. Why? Oh dear. Testing? Okay. It's a little bit better. Why is everything so screwed? Ah! Voice mod, are you being a bitch right now? Might be being a bitch right now. That is not what I meant to do. Voice mod. Hello? Hello? There we go. Much better. Hello. Very loud, but perfect. Yeah, it was voice modded. Automatically adjusted my settings again. Ugh. I hate that I have to use it for things. Voice mod. Set that back to what I needed it to be. There
is no.
There we go. Okay. How are we sounding now? Canst thou hear me? Canst thou hear me over the music? Just turn it down a bit? No, because there's this whole, like, audio balancing tightrope I have to walk. That sounded like an old radio for a bit. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna showcase it. So, what that is that is me. When I am playing a specific character on an RP server.
Greetings. Entity is designated as Crow. What is your designation? Greetings, dear. What is your function?
He's a synthetic butler. Whee! Jeez. Obviously, the wings aren't going to be that thick all the time, but damn, is this not friggin' confusing. Okay. 48.5 meters long is the current estimate. I see. Well then. How long is it? That is quite long. That is way too long. That doesn't make any sense. That reminds me of the evil guy of Wall-E. Well, more in cadence, I think. I mean, Now I kind of want to try. What was his name? Ah, shoot. What was the navigator's name in Wall-E? Otto, right. That's not gonna help. Wait.
Greetings, meatbags. We're going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship, the Axiom. We're going on a trip. Peter Pan knows hot. Is that really? There's no other adjustment.
Darn. Okay. Well, back to it. Okay, so we have more than enough wingspan. Main problem right now is length. The overall length is too much. I guess if we like... Here's an interesting topic to talk about. Have you guys ever wanted to live in a fictional universe, only to later never want to live in that universe again, ever? I wanted to live in the cyberpunk universe until I realized, oh wait, it's frigging awful. Same goes for Warhammer, but I'm not sure anyone who actually knows Warhammer actually wanted to live there. Unless they were psychopaths, is a possibility. Alright, I need to get a feel for this, so I'm gonna put wheels on it. Motorized wheels? You wanted to be in the SCP. I already said, Lemony, that I was a very foolish child. Even Star Wars is kind of crap. Star Trek, however. Star Trek's fine. Like, yeah, we have to go through the atomic horror, but like, if you actually look into how people live in the Star Trek universe, like, it's idyllic. The only reason why we see, you know, shit go down constantly is because that's us skipping to the good bits on a very specific situation. Deep in frigging space. One bowl of the soup you most need. I mean, fair, there's a lot of really cool things in the SCP universe. Oh yeah, that would suck to live in Star Wars as a normal person. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in SCP. There's also a lot of people's personal hang-ups in SCP. Oh, and murder buckets. Wait, what's this about, not getting hired or something? I think they're talking about the SCP universe. Never put Cup of Joe into 249. Oh dear. I don't know about the murder bucket. No, so Lemony Chaos, that's a joke in the community because so many items are just mundane items that kill you. Right? It's just a bucket that kills you, so it's the murder bucket. Right? Or like, oh, here is the spoon, and you're going to scoop out your brains. Your own brains. And then it kills you. Like, what? What's the point? Ooh, spooky. It's going to kill me. Alright, we're nearly back into... Why? 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 Did I accidentally connect it to the brake instead of, No, that's connected to a motor. But it was mirrored wrong. Like the man who claims he's God. You mean the one that carries around a plastic katana? That one's hilarious. Three, 4, 3. Oof, they really had to do Bungie dirty like that, huh? Hayabusa! Hello, Jimbo. That's more like it. That's the linear movement I was expecting. No, it still doesn't look right. Missing something. I cut out 10 meters and it's still fricked. Like, Star Trek, even though there are horrors beyond my comprehension, I wouldn't mind living there because the overall, like, quality of life for everyone is ridiculously good, comparatively. Like, yeah, they still have problems, but, like, hunger? Not really. Housing? Not really. Corporations? Not, no. Hmm. Should be a way to cut down these verticals. Oh, that's not great. What incarnation are you building? A nuclear plane. Jimbo, I told you! I do weird nuclear stuff. That's my shtick. See you around, Dio. Or, see you around, Lemon. Wait. Who? Lemon, okay. Alright, we are nearly to the point in the other game where we can go back in. Do a nuclear AC unit next. I wish I could. I wish I could. Yeah, there are a lot of people exploring alternative methods of cooling these days because of just how bad it's getting. And I say it, like, you know what I mean by it. The temperature issues. What do you mean global warming doesn't exist? I'm dying now. But sure, let's protect the AI data companies and the fossil fuel companies. Let's see. Let's flip that. Do. That doesn't seem right. That should be flush, right? Why is it not flush? There we go. Do 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 do. Title says something about Waterworks. I will be playing Waterworks now, actually. Whoops. Let me save this to that. Confirm. Upload. Hydra Valkyrie Bomber. Confirm. Save. Confirm. Okay. Take a screenshot. Okay. Send to my partner overseas. Let them know. Hey, I updated the thing. Copy to clipboard. Paste. Did some work on the wing thing. Hopefully it works right. Once logic is applied. Okay. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Sorry, I had to wait in real time in the game, essentially. I will actually be working on the nuke plane much later. Maybe not tonight. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Where's my music? Where'd my music stop? There we go. Back to Empire Waterworks. Okay. Hello, Mr. Gatehouse. We need industrial, please. The steam pressure is in the shitter. It is fine, we are heating the cylinders. Come on and hurry up. I should have started this before the shift started. Yeef. gonna be losing time now. Lots of time. That's an hour gone. Really? Still cold. Okay, cool. Two hours. 2 hours wasted. Gosh diggity dang darn it. I need to be pumping, damn it. Yeah, the damper's really useful, Harmon, if you're here. I don't think they are, but... Keeping the coal consumption down while you're at temperature, so useful. So very useful. This side's warm though, yeah? Alright. Although, I probably should have built up steam pressure, apparently. Did you get sidetracked by your nuke train? No. So, in this game, I had to wait for a while. My nuke plane. I had to wait for... Oh, you're kidding me. So, you can only sleep 12 hours in this game, right? You can only go home and sleep 12 hours. Can't sleep 6. So, when I found myself in a situation where it's like, oh, well, you know, you're basically just screwed. Gotta wait, right? You gotta wait. I essentially had to, find something else to do while I waited in real time in the game for things to pass. Oh, that's not good. Is there a lot of real-time wait in this game? Not one-to-one, but it does take a while if you've messed up and now you have to, you know, wait for things to pass so that you're not wasting a day and screwing over your playthrough. Why is this still fricked? What doth thou want? Understood, mortal. So that's on. So why is the boiler... Do I need to increase the feed, I guess? They must have tweaked the values. At 53. There we go. That'll slowly climb. Our pressure should raise quite quantitatively. What is this game called again? Empire Waterworks. There is a free demo on Steam at the moment. Something doesn't feel right. Don't know what it is. You disrespect me. You eat my spooky spider ring. Oh dear. Hello, Horizon! How many steam pistons do you want it to have? No worries, I will work on the drivetrain when I have time. I think I got the... I re-uploaded the thing to the workshop. I think that's the right dimensions now. Because it most certainly was longer than it was wide, weirdly enough. Yeah, I'll have to muddle through that when I have some time. Because I have to figure out the form, and then the function, and then also figure out, do we want it? Do we want the plane to be a submarine? Because I'm just thinking about that, and it's like, huh, we could totally do that, couldn't we? We could totally make that thing a Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow special. If you haven't seen Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow, I definitely suggest that you do. It is a wondrous and quite imaginative movie. Very cheeky, too. Is there a reason we don't make curvy wrenches anymore? It's like from a physics standpoint and an ergonomic standpoint, it actually makes sense to make them curvy, doesn't it? It's like more of a range thing. I don't know. When you say make it a submarine, do you mean like entirely enclosed? Like the NB-36 so that it won't flood if it gets submerged? Maybe. Horizon, don't worry too much about it. You and I need to hold off on that for now. Because I need to think on how I'm going to implement stuff. What it can do, what it implements, and then we need to work that into the design, which is going to be it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a what's the word? It's going to be a trial and tribulation. But yes. eventually I'd like to make it so that it works while submerged. Nuke sub what? Oh, nuclear submarine when? Already done. Not complete, but done. Well, or I started it at least. What do you want? My tap is running a bit sad. I know, I'm working on it. The nuclear-powered cocaine submersible. Precisely. That's the one. That's the thing. Why not take it further, make it an aeroplane, submarine, and spacecraft? That would be quite the endeavor, and I would have to include mods because no way we're doing that stock. So there is a Soviet and American prototype where it's an aeroplane, but it's also a submarine. And it's wild and amazing. Or both of them are wild and amazing. Let me see if I can find pictures of them. Aerosub. No. The theoretical design of aeronautical submarines. Flying submarines! There it is. Ushakov's flying submarine. United Kingdom. As early as 1920, the British trade journal Flying reported conversations between the First Sea Lord and other military leaders to create a hermetically sealed fuselage for a submersible in 2008, DARPA, yes, that DARPA, announced that it was going to prepare to issue contracts for a submersible aircraft. The more conventional and usable version of this was the submersible aircraft carrier, which, yeah, I could see that being way more useful. I can't believe we've been working on submersible planes as late as 2008. But in order to actually make that, wouldn't it make sense to make it nuclear? Because, like, I mean... Is that the Convair submersible seaplane? What is... Wait, did they actually build it? And no, 1960s was the Convair submersible seaplane. ...2008 was DARPA being like, hey, we're gonna do contracts. The one you were talking about. Oh. No, so... I was just going over the history of submersible planes real quick, because if we make the Hydra Valkyrie a submersible plane, which would be really cool, especially with the Deeper Oceans mod. It'd be really, really cool. Oh! How you would get it flying again is beyond me, but... It's just one of those, yeah, that's certainly an idea moments. Both planes and subs need to be airtight. Well... I think planes less so. Submarines need to be... Another thing Convair did was the NB36. Oh yeah. Man, we really... why don't we talk about Convair more? Like, everybody's freaking talking about Boeing. What happened to Convair? What is the purpose of it being on water and on air? Well... in the original context, it was for hunting submarines. We already know how to do that with satellites better than we do planes. However, let's think on this for a minute, because I'm sure that there's a decent reason, to have a submersible plane, I swear. Totally not something that, you know, belongs in a Bond movie. Or Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. For one, they would be small enough, in terms of military purposes, they would be small enough that they could go undetected by normal satellites. And they could pretty much sneak up on no, because we have stealth aircraft for that. There really isn't much use for a submersible aircraft, is there? Besides, like, just the convenience of maintaining a single airframe. The only other thing that I can think of is exploration. But even then, having a seaplane with a submersible just makes more sense. Like a seaplane that can deploy a submersible. I don't know why Australia's getting the nuclear submarine contract. They should hand that off to Saab. Yeah, I believe Saab developed a stealthier subaquatic sandwich than the United States, which is hilarious to think about. No, because it still makes more sense. It still makes more sense to use a boat. Like, yeah, it'd be faster to deploy. That's what it could be used for. Rescue. Not that we have so many underwater rescues required, but like having a underwater plane, right, that can fly out there, deploy itself as a rescue submarine. Oh wait, we've just recreated the Thunderbirds, haven't we? Well, that's embarrassing. I just want the adjustable wrench. Ideally, 190, 140, 90. That's what helicopters are for? Underwater rescue? The fuck? Also, don't helicopters have a severely limited range when it comes to that sort of thing? Nuclear helicopters. Oh no, do I need to make a nuclear Chinook? I kind of want to make a nuclear Chinook. Now that I think about it, wouldn't most rescues occur above water? I mean, it would, but sometimes you need to get down. Like, even for... Even just for, like, reconnaissance for the rescue. I don't know, maybe I'm just... being goofy. Mr. Mouse, are you saying that you're divorcing your wife because she's silly? No! I'm divorcing her because she's fucking goofy! And now with that cursed image in your head, I mean, there are helicopter designs with propellers on the back. Hmm. Yeah, that boiler's getting dirty. Oh dear, a minute behind. I'm sorry. Alright. Let's swap this over to municipal. Yeah, that thing is belching smoke. It's gone very, very dirty. No more stoking the fire, though. We have to let it crap out. Again, that thing is belching smoke, probably because of the damper. That brings to mind those deep-sea mining recovery mission docks, where people were trapped miles down, horrifying stuff. I know, right? All I'm talking about is a rapid deployment, like, rescue craft. A helicopter, I don't know if it'd be able to make it out there, but a plane? A plane that could convert itself into a submarine? For rescue? I don't see why not. I mean, there's a Soviet, or not Soviet, just Russian horror movie about deep sea mining. I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of horrifying. Mostly because of all the bad decisions and just like, yeah, we're gonna kill this person. Just arbitrarily. time is it? It's quitting time. But yeah, I need to find it, but like the characters in it are so just vindictive, where it's like, ah yes, this guy went down in one of our suits and is using our oxygen. How dare he? And then unplugs their oxygen and kills them off, and it's like, why? And then they dump the oxygen line, and you're just sitting there like, why? Why are you doing this? And then like they have to swim out to a certain distance to deploy a beacon, and again I have to ask why. And then it gets even worse, where it's like, all right, it's time to deploy the beacon. Sudden jellyfish, and it's like, I don't think they operate at that depth, but sure. Those specific jellyfish, I should say. So then that guy died. And then, you know, they released the diving bell's anchors and shot up to the surface, and they had to hyper-nitrogenate the, or they didn't actually hyper-nitrogenate the, remember there was something that really pissed me off, is that kind of ascent is really dangerous, but that wasn't what killed them. What killed them was that the diving bell's cable got stuck or something, and that's what did them in. Is they didn't have enough oxygen for rescue. That was it. Not the bends. Nothing like that. Oh, man. Wait, what did that say? I missed that. Piss. That's a horrifying way to go. But, like, my point is that they had their exact location, right? The diving bell. In this situation, they had their exact location, but the rescue sub was like an hour out. And they only had like an hour of oxygen left, or 30 minutes of oxygen left. But like a plane can travel faster than a submarine, so I don't know. I feel like aeronautical submarines have a place in the rescue field. Is what I'm trying to say. It's just one of those bits of specialty rescue kit that you don't think about. Because, like, you don't really think about it all that much when in rescues is like, time matters. So when there's an incident under the ocean, I'm surprised we don't have a rapid response method. Because we don't. Sometimes we do, but we usually don't. Wait, is this up to temp? Wait, the frick? Is the first cylinder up to temp? Holy shit, that was fast. Well, also because we don't do a whole lot of exploration of the ocean. Or mining under the ocean, or any of that, etc. Like, there's excursions, sure, and then we also have, like, nuclear submarines. We often just don't think about it. Because, like, submarines, yeah, okay. I don't know. Reminds me of recent IRL events. Oh, you mean the, the billionaire bust-up down under? The totally preventable events that happened because of corporate greed, which is kind of funny because that's like perfect irony of, man, that's a bunch of billionaires at the bottom of the ocean. You know, those people who got rich, you know, fricking around and and not maintaining their company or anything. I wonder what's gonna do them in. Oh my gosh, is it another corporate entity not maintaining their stuff? Wow! That is so perfect. So that's one of the things that it comes down to is, they weren't maintaining their submarines properly, if I recall correctly. Just such delicious and succinct irony. Still kind of sad about that one billionaire son who didn't want to go. I mean... Okay, Jimbo, we use video game controllers for a lot of things. That's not a what could go wrong situation. I mean, yeah, they probably should have had some kind of like physical control, like an emergency ballast dump or something. Sorry, emergency ballast blow, or I don't know. Something to make it so that when it was like, we're starting to crumple, they could, you know, rocket up a few 100 feet and prevent the collapse. Relieve the pressure, as it were. Bunch of warnings from other submarine experts. Wow, who knew ignoring safety recommendations was a bad thing? Who knew ignoring the eggheads because I'm rich, I don't need to know the rules. Oh my gosh, have you seen the thing about the guy in, like, was it Australia? Who was throwing rocks at seals or something? You can't stop me, I'm rich. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's the mentality these days. Yeah, precisely. That guy. You know who I'm talking about. Does something blatantly cruel for his amusement. Ha, you can't arrest me, I'm rich. He won't, I don't think he'll face any serious repercussions besides like a fine or something. And again, he's rich. He makes that much money sleeping because he doesn't do anything, right? He doesn't work for, well, okay, yeah, he doesn't work for his money. He basically just tells other people to work. Here's my official statement on Ocean Gate, though. It is a tragedy that those people died, but at what point do you have to sit back and laugh? Because, wow. So all of these people who made their billions and millions, well, millions isn't a big deal, but billions, made their billions exploiting other people and skirting corners and damaging the environment, and then the environment just takes them out. I just hope that at the very least, wherever he goes, everyone remembers him as that guy. I mean, I'm going to say something completely unhinged, and I want you guys to understand that it is mostly a joke. We need more mob violence, right? Some of these people are very clear. Didn't the locals beat him up? I literally just said this. I hope they did, because that guy is a fucking asshole. Holy shit. I'm rich. You can't do anything to me. Ah. Hey, Lemony, kinda heard about that. Can you guys confirm that? Because, delicious. Delicious. Yes, I'd like more with my meal, please. Like, we cannot have people who believe that they're untouchable. It's terrible. They're like, I can do anything! Well, no, you can't, and if you do, we're gonna beat you to death. Well, what about my security? Your security? Your security? Really? Like, isn't there a clause in the U.S. military statement that if, like, the president does a fraction of what the current president has done, they have to, they are bound by their oath to eliminate the president? Like, it's in there somewhere, I'm pretty sure. Like, if they are acting in ways that are counterproductive to the prosperity of the nation, and in the interest of private individuals, he is to be put down. I am almost certain. There might be very specific, like, wording on that. There's, like, a point in which the military is supposed to step in. But they aren't going to, because guess what? Guess what? That doesn't work. He's already removed the majority of his opposition, which is fucking wild to me. Like, after the first time he did that, the military should have been like, ha, no, you are not supposed to do that. Be gone, thought. I just can't believe we ended up with the turkey president from Rick and Morty. Anywho, off of that topic. Ambassador of Aloha beats up Monk Seal. Beats up Monk Seal attacker on Maui as officials cheer. Good! Good! We cannot keep defending these awful people. They need consequences to their actions. Otherwise, they're going to be awful people. Wow! What a fascinating concept. What a wild thing to do. What a wild concept. Well, excuse me, you're not supposed to beat up those seals. You can't touch me, I'm rich. Actually, we can, sir. Whack. But I want to go clubbing. That is not what clubbing is, sir. Be gone. Like, I just don't understand these people. I really don't. Because, like, if I had your resources and your money, I have so many other ways to entertain myself. Like, actually improving the populace. But That's why I'm not rich. Well, that and I'm playing video games, but that's why I'm not rich, is at least in the system, it rewards these very cruel people who are able to dehumanize or at least lack empathy for everything under the sun. It's just wild to me that all of these really wealthy people think they can get away with murder. Because, you know, it's been demonstrated in the past that they can get away with a certain amount of stuff. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Wish there wasn't as much corruption in the system as... That's just it. In systems built on corruption, the frick are we supposed to do? If you rip the corruption out, the system collapses. Which is annoying, but that's just... It's just the fact of it. So you have to be very, very careful about what systems you put in place. The problem is, none of us are immortal, so preventing corruption is very difficult, especially when the people aren't educated as much as they were. And that's the way that they like it. Replacing each part like a ship of Theseus. The problem with that is we've tried that. Right? You replace one part of the government, slap on some oversight, and it just creates more inefficiency because, well, all you're really doing is changing the person who's taking the money. And at the end of the day, the easiest way to or sorry, there's always going to be that temptation. But the chance that someone turns corrupt, or the corrupt was corrupt from the start. Well, okay, so what's the saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's a good one. However, I would like to coin a new one. The only reason oversight works is because the corrupt man is paying them off. Like, we have all of these systemic issues that aren't being fixed and nobody's blowing the whistle over because, like, the people who are whose job it is to watch these people, well, they're receiving fat, cushy paychecks. It's basically blackmail. Right? Almost essentially. We would be better off if we chose politicians by lottery and actually having the actually kind of swaying argument of, do you really think we would be worse off at this point? Woof. To be fair, having a rotating set of so for like long-standing issues, I don't know. You know what? I think having issues be voted on by the people who they actually affect, right? It's like, I'm going to say some things, and it might get me in trouble in the future. In Australia, right? This is very interesting because we have school shootings here in America, and then there was one in Australia. And I think it was one of the most wholesome things I'd seen on the internet is I didn't see anyone tell them that, or I probably was just sheltered maybe, but I didn't see anyone tell them, oh well, it's because you didn't have anyone armed or something, whatever, something really stupid. But that's just the way that the people essentially decided to handle it. Versus over here, where it's like, it's all over the place. If anyone could be adjacent to power, then education would become a major priority for the government. You know what? I like that. I really think that should have been... I like the random lottery thing. You'd see quite a lot of John Everyman decisions, hopefully. To be fair, I don't tune into things like Fox or... Because here's the funny thing. Alright, guys. You know how people watch Fox News? Did you know that Fox isn't actually registered as a news agency, but an entertainment company? Did you know Fox is owned by Disney? Isn't that fascinating? Isn't that interesting? I found it very interesting. We do have armed people in Australia, but it's limited to the police force. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. But also, like, you have the situation in Canada where not even a decade after they passed laws where it was like, you have to give up your arms, right? They started doing some totalitarian crap, and the citizens couldn't do anything about it because they didn't have the means to fight back against the corporations and the government officials that were basically making their life hell. And so they just have to sit back and accept it. It's like, oh, that's not great. And then you have, like, that situation in, there's some European nation where, like, there's some European nation where the general populace is pretty much all armed, and their crime rates are so low because essentially you don't know who's packing. So it's like mutually assured destruction on the populace scale, right? But not only, but the thing is, that wouldn't work in America. That doesn't work in America. Do you know why? Because over there, they have better education. They actually care for their citizens. So you don't have a shit ton of disgruntled people waving guns around and shooting up public places because the people are cared for. Any actual crime, like some ne'er-do-well who's like, I'm gonna rob a store, gets put down immediately by a little old lady with a frigging pistol. I'm trying to remember what the name of that location is. It's like up near Norway. I generally think civilians owning guns is not a good idea. I think it's a societal issue. I don't think America as is, right? I don't think they should be, you know... I can't say that because we're right at the cusp of a very pivotal point in history where corporations... Did you hear that corporations in America are starting to get the right to vote? Like, that put a shiver down my spine when I heard that. That's not great. And I know it's not, like... It's not entirely political. I think it's specifically in the municipal sector. But... That's... No. No. What? That's a gateway. That's like, well, we already vote in municipal. Why don't we also vote in this other stuff? Yeah. No. We're at the cusp of several important points in America. And there's not a whole lot that we can really do about it because of how who's in power. Corporations are going to be allowed to vote. You didn't hear about this? Yeah, so it's not yet in like higher end government. Are you talking about Finland? It might be Finland, yeah, where like everyone is concealed carrying a pistol. Wait, how far back are we? Shit. Is this why I've started to hear corporations are not people? Maybe. Anyways, no, so we it's such a complex issue because on the one hand, right, I don't think that at America's state, in America's state, where their education, their healthcare, and their and their mental health is so crap that you have a bunch of disgruntled people who believe that there's no way out, and then you arm them and you give them targets of like, oh well, yeah, or rather, it's just like you have all these special interest groups giving out targets, right? Racist targets. You have social media targets. You have whatever, but the point is that you have all of these hot button issues in America. Oh, okay. Sorry. Here, I'm jumping all over the place because I have ADHD. I'm sorry. On top of all of this weird stuff happening, did you know that an AI company hooked an AI up to a satellite and then mapped out all of the farmland on the planet? Normally, I'd be like, oh wow, that's cool, right? But knowing what I know about corporations and cyberpunk, specifically the world of cyberpunk, that is one of the first steps of, like, okay. The world of cyberpunk, recent events where mega corporations are buying up as much farmland as they can, and, just that fact of an AI company mapping out all of the farmland in the world, the correlation immediately sets into place of like, well, we're fucked. Because somebody's planning something. Somebody's planning something. Somebody's always planning something. There does not need to be an official conspiracy for a conspiracy to exist. What's the quote? There does not need to be an official conspiracy or a conspiracy to exist because you have all of these large interest groups acting in their own in their own special interest. That would sound optimistic unless they're going to use it to maximize the amount of land they want to take. Or, and here's a point, right? The reason why you would map out all of the farmland that exists is to systematically burn it down. That is one very, very awful possibility. The other possibility is this could be used for scientific endeavors. By optimizing the amount of land that we use for farmland, we might be able to do better, right? By figuring out what place is optimal, rotating crops, managing it. Yeah, that'd be great. We don't do that because that's not profitable. What is profitable is creating a scarcity and then profiting off that scarcity. They just want to control the world. Yeah, how do you think you control the world? An army marches on its stomach. If the populace is too hungry to fight back, right? It's the age-old thing of if you starve them enough. Artificial scarcity sounds like a bleak possibility. We already experience it. In the computing sector, right? AI data centers have is basically a massive stockpile of tech, driving up the prices, and then they just trickle it back to us. I actually don't think they're making. I don't think they're actually making the data centers. If they are, fuck. If they are making the data centers, that's a frigging waste of electricity. Wouldn't you notice? That's an artificial scarcity of energy. Right? If they pollute all the water, that's an artificial scarcity of water. They're creating problems that they then fix and sell back to us. God, I sound like a conspiracy theorist. Do you ever feel like corporations keep driving the collective bus of humanity towards a cliff? Kind of, yes. Because unfortunately, we do not punish effectively the wicked. The wicked escape way too often. I mean, look at the United Healthcare guy who got zeroed like last year, right? He was the person in charge of the movement in the United Healthcare company to incorporate AI into the application process, or the appeals process. That's what it was. The appeals process for for the medical field, the medical expenses, right, for insurance. That AI was then trained, or was found to be denying everyone, or like singling out or racially profiling and singling out people. And they're like, good, make it worse. Ship it. We know that it has this problem. It's making us money. Keep going. I feel like I'm about to get frigging zeroed myself. Cause like, I'm saying all this crap on the internet with all of these AI tools that can scrape videos, voices, and analyze them for context, and then it's like, oh, SWAT team to this location. This guy's a dissident. Murder. Again, I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's not that far-fetched. It's like that thing from Captain America: Winter Soldier. The helicarrier with the profiling weapons, right? They'd identify potentially hazardous people, right? And then analyze, and when they put a toe out of line, they'd take them down. We are there. That's not even a fantasy anymore. That was so far-fetched to me when that came out. It was like, nah. We couldn't possibly collate all that data. But we have AI now, which is really good at collating the data. Because we already have flock safety, right? Flock safety is far from it. That is not safety at all. Flock safety is the networked cameras of Ring doorbells and just, you know, those remote work cameras or remote security cameras, but they're linked to a facial recognition database, so they can basically locate anyone anywhere on Earth, as long as those cameras are there. And then they also collect data on normal citizens, being like, okay, well, this guy's going to work. Oh, this guy hasn't gone to work. Let's look into that. Oh, he's gotten fired. He might be disgruntled. Let's look into his psychological profile. Like, it's... Ugh. I keep being so amazed at how far society's come, and yet stressed on how stupidly wasted its potential gets sometimes. Yeah! We have all of this technology, and we are using it to oppress ourselves. We are using it to ruin ourselves, even. Like, I hate that at this point, we are not going to make it to Star Trek in terms of technology level, because we're one of the planets that they visit. We're one of the problem planets. Like, I don't even... Atris, why is your sub count shrinking? It's a good question. I'm not quite sure. Maybe because I'm ranting like a frigging deranged kook. Maybe because I don't play a whole lot of the, like, AAA just come out games. Maybe because I don't put a whole lot of effort into, like, long-form content, which I probably should. Maybe because I haven't put out a short in over a year. Maybe because the people who showed up for my inspirational content just aren't interested. Maybe it's because YouTube has an algorithm that essentially removes subscriptions that it thinks you don't actually want. Oh wait, that's a thing? I joke, sort of. The amount of times that I've been unsubscribed to Markiplier is ridiculous. Maybe you just need to start clip maxing. I mean, it'd be nice if people started generating clips of me. And then I could start posting those clips, because one of the problems that I have is I can't really tell what's good. Sometimes I do, like, there was that, I need to make sure I'm not in breach. Okay. Sometimes sometimes it's like, oh wow, that lined up great. To know that YouTube did that. That's the only explanation I have for the amount of channels that I have lost yearly. I get yearly unsubscribed from Markiplier, and I don't know why. I watch him regularly enough. I don't watch him as much anymore. I don't watch him daily. I don't watch him weekly. I might watch him monthly. And only one video just to keep up with him because he's cool. Right? But shorts are where it's at in terms of views. Yeah, but I much prefer this interaction. I prefer to actually talk to people. Because that's where my skill is. I'm not a very good entertainer. I'm not a very good content creator. And I'll admit that. I'm not very good at being motivated by looking at a screen. That's kind of the problem. So while the views are nice, why did you start this channel? Sorry, let me finish my thought. While the views are nice, I much prefer talking to my regulars than watching a number go up. Right? Because it's like, okay, I got all of this foot traffic in my restaurant, but nobody's returning. So I'll put effort into the people who actually come back. And I get that there's all kinds of things that I could do, and, you know, but with my ADD, it just doesn't click very well. Why did you start this channel? Because I found it to be a way to just put meaning to the time that I waste playing video games. Right? I saw the big three in my mind. Big three being Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, doing this. And my brain immediately went, that could be an avenue to help people. You will not find any of my earlier videos because I deleted them. They are awful. But there are enough examples of someone who found my channel randomly because they were depressed, bored, you know, just scrolling through YouTube. And those people don't show up as much anymore. But I still keep in contact with them because now they're motivated to go do something of their own. They are operating under their own power, doing their own thing, because, I don't know, I said something to them, and it clicked. And that's kind of where my mind is at, is with these live streams, sometimes people show up who just need that voice. That voice of, hey, how you doing? What? Sit down, talk. And while that worked for a fair amount of time, the age of shorts has come. And it's become more and more difficult to actually... It's difficult to actually reach people anymore. The age of streaming is over. You know what? That's actually kind of how I ended up here. My point exactly! There are people who are lost, and just sometimes you have to be that in the rain. I'm not seeking the affirmation of number go up. I'm seeking the affirmation of somebody walked in from the cold, and I can give them a hot meal. I don't think there's enough people out there like that. There are certainly quite a few, but I don't think there's enough. To be fair, the audience that is proper to shorts is not the same as the audience that watches long streams. Yeah. No, the people who subsist on shorts are chasing a high. They're chasing that cocoa melon dopamine rush of varied content. And I found myself doing it. It's so insidious. I hate it. I have caught myself where it's like, okay, you know what? 10 shorts. 10 shorts. I will watch 10 shorts to completion, and then that I am done. As soon as I hit that 10th, YouTube turns off, it stays off, and I do something else. I force myself to find something else to do. I cannot stand it. It's habit forming, it's addictive. It is essentially a digital drug. And it is being pushed on people. I don't understand people who doom scroll shorts. Well, I don't rightly or fully understand why I sometimes do. Right. Shit, that reservoir is... Okay, I need to swap that over. Because the more I think about it, the more it just doesn't make sense. Like, there are some good shorts creators out there. Skits and comedy and so on. But then there are people who are just scraping content. Like, with AI and making, like, zero... They're making nothing burgers. It's stuff I've already seen. But the thing is, it's the dopamine hit of, ooh, this is the really cool thing from the show that I like, instead of just rewatching the show and actually analyzing the story, understanding why it works. You are just hit with that, and this is the part where Superman punches Batman, not understanding why he's doing it. And then you get burnt out on action because it's like, well, if I can just get it from shorts, why would I sit through a movie? Why would I sit through all of that? And so I've been, that's my theory anyways. It's just like, it's that immediate hit of like, that's so cool, and then it just sort of desensitizes you to what is cool. If that makes sense, because you constantly want to be... For me, scrolling through shorts feels schizophrenic. It is! It really is! It is frenetic. It is hardly... Like when you read a book, you have to manually stop to process each paragraph and then flip the page. Yeah. That might mean you have a healthier mind, Jimbo. Yeah. No, we are actively poisoning our youth with this ridiculous feed chasing. It's so gross. It's disgusting. Wasn't there a thing? Yeah, there was. Oh man, that pissed me the frick off. Apparently, reading to your children is racist now. Why is it racist? Because some people may not have the same home life that you do, right? You're giving your kids an unfair advantage when you read them bedtime stories. What? Precisely. No, it's one of those things that I saw while reading the news. It was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That makes no sense. I mean, it sort of does, right? But, like, why is that? No. No, what that should read is, if you want your kids to succeed, perhaps you should give them audiobooks. If you are unable to sit down and read to your child, right? You may as well let the technology do it for you. But no, it's... reading to your kids is gross, disgusting. How dare you give them an edge over over the less privileged? It's like, what are your priorities? Why is that what you're focusing on? Like, instead of finding a solution, that's what made me angry. Instead of trying to find a solution, they were more into guilt-tripping and rage-baiting. Yeah, precisely. That sounds like a chronically online mom take. Probably. Or like somebody who doesn't want to go through the effort of reading to their kids or something, and so they're like, you know what, I'm gonna make it everybody else's fault. It's not my fault that my kids are doing bad. It's the fact that everybody else has time to read to their kids. Yeah, that's totally it. That's the reason why. Not that I'm a shitty parent. You had time to write that article, but you didn't have time to read your kids a bedtime story. On a more positive turn, please. Please. My brain is in a place I don't like. Tell me about the thing, Lemony. Tell me about the thing. Tell me, tell me, tell me. I'm glad I suddenly had a change of heart from not wanting to read books to loving them back in January. Good! Good! This is a swell opportunity for me to plug... What are you plugging? Hang on. This is a swell opportunity for me to plug in actually giving children their own spaces. I saw a lot of younger Gen Z, now that we're growing, starting to advocate for kids actually having spaces outside again. Please! Oh my word! I hate that I'm angry about this again. Wait, why is that empty? Oh my... Jeezums. Club Penguin. Right? You're familiar with Club Penguin, right? Just a very silly website, you know, teach a little bit of internet literacy, you know, just hang out with random people, and like, I don't remember there being any kind of chat function, can't really do anything with it. Just very silly mini games. Cool math games, right? Free online web browser games. Though I mostly read comics, I still love reading a few novels like Project Hail Mary or Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Both very, very solid choices. I think I damaged my... Yeah, I think my boiler is permanently damaged now. Time to check on the condition of the boiler. Wherever that is. Boiler number 1 integrity, 0%. No. You've got to be shitting me. You know, corporations seem to be more interested in marketing to kids, so they just kept buying up basically the equivalent of, well, childhood farmland. Is this fucked? I think this is fucked. The temperature's high enough. Pressure's not going anywhere. I think the boiler's dead. Fuck. $5,000. Hang on. How long is that? Shit. 5,000. 356 divided by 60. That's like an hour ago. I'm gonna lose a lot of progress. Damn. Alright. I think I'm done playing this game for today. All right. Question is, should I probably should, shouldn't I? I sleep 8 hours. I don't need a nap. I shouldn't need a nap. So... in my right hand, I hold the power of the jungle. Caffeine! Cacao! I have the power! That is an interesting read, Jimbo. Marcel Mouse's Get the Gift. Alright. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to take a little bit of a bio break. We are going to end this stream. I'm gonna start another stream. I'm going to give you until the end of this song to decide if you'd prefer some like cybercore roleplay, which that might be fun to do. I'm gonna be doing that later tonight anyways. Or Stormworks. Or something I haven't thought of yet. So you have about 3 minutes to cast your vote. What does my faithful want to watch? Lemony Chaos. Cybercore is a GTA 5 modded server done up to basically be Cyberpunk 2077. In that, I play a robotic butler called Crow. I should say a robotic butler assassin, really. He's basically a robotic Pennywise. Or Alfred Pennywise. Is it Pennywise or Pennyworth? Might be Alfred Pennyworth. See you around, Dio. Stormworks is pretty chill, but also the Cybercore sounds kind of cool. So the choices, Jimbo, are Stormworks, in which case I am going to be designing the nuclear plane, or Cybercore RP, which is the GTA 5 done up to look like Cyberpunk 2077. Those are the two choices that I have on the table right now. So, casting my vote for that one. What do you mean, Lemony, please. Lemony, please, don't do this to me. Please don't play that game. I need to know precisely what you're voting for, because you just say for that one, but you mentioned both of them in your last thing. Stormworks is pretty chill, but the Cybercore one sounds kind of cool. So okay. So you're voting for Cybercore is what I'm assuming? Cybercore, okay. Jimbo votes Cybercore. Lemony votes maybe Cybercore. That's probably what I will go with. And this will be the first time that Cybercore is going to recognize me as a streamer. That's going to be interesting. Very interesting. Oh right, I think the song ended. Whips! Yeah, I said Cybercar. Okay, so, give me a little bit of time. You guys, right? Bio break. Grab water, stretch, grab food, right? Get moving. Do something. Alright? I will be back, and we'll be playing Cybercore. Sound good? Alright. Break!